Hello. Today we are going to perform experiment number 4 to measure S parameter of microwave H-plane T using microwave test bench. So this is our H-plane T. This is one of the microwave component. You can see over here that towards the broader dimension of this waveguide, we are having a waveguide and it is in rectangular shape. So this is my broader dimension and this is my narrower dimension. So towards the broader dimension, what I found, I am attaching 1/3 waveguide. I am attaching the third waveguide with this broader dimension in such a way that it perfectly matches at the junction point. And this kind of configuration where broader dimension perpendicular third arm is attached is called as H-plane T. So how it functions, how this H-plane T functions. So in this H-plane T, what we found that here I am having port number 1, I am having port number 2 and port number 3. So let us study with the case of it. If I am giving input from port number 3, say this is my input, I am giving input from port number 3. What I found that I am getting output from port number 1. I am getting output from port number 1 and port number 2. Whenever I am getting output from port number 1 and port number 2, I found that the outputs from port number 1 and 2 are in same phase, as well as whatever the input is given, it is half divided into port number 1 and port number 2. That means if I am giving input from port number 3 as 10 watt of power, then I am getting 5 watt power divided into port number 1 and 5 watt power is divided into port number 2. That means it is an equal power divider. So I am finding out that if I am giving input from port number 1, output from port number 1 and 2 are equally divided, and I am finding out that are in the same phase. This is our case number 1. Say I am giving input from port number 1. Say I am giving 5 watt of the power from port number 1. I did not get any power output from port number 2. But that power goes into port number 3 as it is. Okay, why? Because at junction all these ports are perfectly matched, and whatever the power is given from port number 1 is getting output from port number 3 only. We are not getting output from port number 2. Let us go in reverse case. If I am giving input from port number 2, I am not getting any output from port number 1, but that output is given, we are getting from the port number 3 itself. So this is the function of H-plane T, and because of this, because of case number 1, what we found that if I am giving input from port number 3, I am getting output from port number 1 as 5 watt, output from port number 2 as 5 volts. So if I add this to port 1 and port 2 outputs, this is my port 1 and port 2 outputs, then I found that my answer is from port number 3. And because of this sign, I call my H-plane T as a adder. Now what we have to do, we have to take this H-plane T, we have to use this H-plane T in our microwave test bench. And what we have to do, we are giving input from here, port number 3, and we are measuring outputs from port number 1 and port number 2. That means if I am giving input from port number 3, I am measuring output from port number 1 and port number 2. Similarly, if I am giving input from port number 2, this is my port number 2. Okay, if I am giving input from port number 2, I am measuring output from port number 1 and port number 3. Port number 1 and port number 3. So input from port number 2, I am measuring output from port number 1 and port number 3. Similarly, if I am giving input from port number 1, if I am giving input from here, I am measuring output from port number 3 and port number 2. So we have to measure the outputs based on that, and we have to find out the results by practically, and we have to compare whether our theoretical results, that here we are not getting output as 0, here we are getting as no output, and whether practically we are getting output as 0 or not, that we have to observe, and that we have to compare, that whether the theoretical aspects of not getting outputs from one of the port is same as the practical aspects or not.
To the measurement part of H plenty. So this is our microwave test bench. In earlier experiment, we were doing experiment using slotted waveguide dissection and direct frequency readout meter. But in this experiment, that is H plenty, we do not need this portion of the microwave test bench. So we are removing this portion. Now we need only a detector. This is our detector. Earlier we were detecting signal using our probe, but we do not need these two components, so we are removing this component and we are only connecting the detective mount which is present, which is already being connected here. So in this practical we have to do same setup as we were doing in earlier experiment. We have to set up the gun bias voltage is equal to 6.67627 voltage. So we have set up this is equal to 6.66 volt, and the mode select, either you can see continuous or internal mode, but we also want to check at the output, so we have chosen as our default that is internal mode, and we have to provide pin bias voltage and modulation frequency to the pin modulator so that the signal can be applied for the modulation. Now this is our test patch setup for the experiment. So we have connected, this is our gun power supply which will generate the frequency, that is X band frequency, and the signal, that is internally modulated signal, is given to pin modulator. This will be forwarded in our circuit, and this is the attenuator which will attenuate, which we can use to attenuate our signal so that we can set up the voltage, and we have to take output from this. So we first thing is we want to find out how much power we are giving at the input, or simply we want to set up the input power, so that can be set up. So for measuring that power or for normalizing this power, we are directly measuring power using detector meter. This is our detector mount. This is same as earlier one. Here we are having a pin diode as a demodulator, and this is given to the SWR meter. This is our SWR meter. This can be used to measure SWR as well as power. So this is our mode select switch. From this we can, this is mode select switch, we can select power or SWR. Right now this is in a power mode. So when you switch on this range switch should be at the maximum, but we have set up right now, so we have taken this as at 30 dB, and we will set the power level. Let us take, we'll make this is equal to 0 dB. So this is the normalized power we have set at 30 dB. This is normalized power. There is some power, but we are setting in SWR meter, this is equal to 0 dB. So with respect to 0 dB, now we have to measure power at the output of our component. This is SWR, this is our H plane T. So right now we have set up our power, that is input power is equal to 0 dB. You can see that now we have inserted our component, we have removed our detector mount from this position, we have inserted our component, that is H plane 3. So this is our case number 3. We are giving power to the third port. This is our input port, so we are giving power to the third port, that is our H arm, and we are measuring power at the first port. So you can see here we have written 1 here, 1, 2 and 3. So we are measuring power because we have connected this detector mount at this port, that is port number 1, and we have connected match termination at port number 2. So we are measuring power, and you can see in the power meter, SWR meter, where we are measuring the power. This is in power mode. So you can see power, we have set input power is equal to 0 dB, and we are getting power at the power at the first port is minus 3.20 dB. It means the power is 3.2 dB down to the input power. So this is the power reading at the port number 1. Now what we'll do, we will interchange the position of detector mount and match termination. So we'll give match termination at this port, and we'll take this detector mount at this position, and we'll measure the power.
So our input power is 0 dB. So I have written input power as 0 dB, and we have given input from port number 3, and we have measured output from port number 1. So our one of the column, that means third row, and the first column is filled with minus 3.1 dB.
Now we have interchanged our match termination and detector mount. Now detector mount is at port number 2. This is our port number 2. So we are measuring power from the port number 2, and we have a match termination at port number 1. Now you can see the power meter shows, that is, the measured power at port number 2 is minus 3.10 dB, and our input power was 0 dB. So once again this will be same as, so basically whenever we'll feed power at H arm, that is port number 3, we'll get equal power in both the port, that is adjacent port, that is port number 1 and port 2, that will be in phase, but we cannot measure phase here. So we are getting magnitude, both are equal, that is minus 3 dB down. So it will divide power equally in this both the. So when we take input as port number 3 and output port as port number 2, we are getting power minus 3.1 dB. Okay. In next case, we will give power to port number 1, and we will measure power at port number 3 and port number 2. So in case 1, we have given power to port number 3, and we have measured power at port number 1 and port number 2. The input power was 0 dB, and we got the measured power at port 1 and port 2 is 3.1 dB. So power is dividing equally, and which is 3 dB down. It means half the power will goes to port number 1 and half the power will go to port number 2 when we will feed power at H arm or at port number 3. That was our case number 1. Now case number 2, we will feed power at port number 1. This is our port number 1. So we are feeding power at port number 1, and theoretically we should got some power here, and we should not get, or minimum power should be available at port number 2. Now you can see we have already connected this H plane T. So we are giving power to port number 1. This is our port number 1. We are giving power to port number 1, and at the port number 3 we have connected match termination. In port number 2 we are measuring the power using detector mount, and you can see in a power meter, SWR meter, the power level is minus 7.80 dB. Our input power is 0 dB, and so we are giving in port number 1. So we don't have to measure in port number 1. In port number 2 we are getting power is equal to minus 7.80 dB. Okay. In next we will interchange this detector mount and this match termination. Then we will measure power at port number 3, and will match terminate at port number 2. So when we are connected the input at port number 1 and we are measuring power from port number 3. We have connected the match termination at port number 2. Now we can see in power meter, the power meter shows power is equal to minus 3.30 dB. So the power at port number 3 is 3.30 dB, minus 3.30 dB. In case number 3, we will give power to port number 2 and will measure power from port number 1 and power from port number 3. So in kit, now we will give, this is our input port, so we will interchange this and we will give power to port number 2 and will measure power at port number 1 and port number 3. We have given power to port number 2 and we are measuring power at port number 1. We have connected match termination at port number 3. So from the power meter we can see the power measured is minus 8 dB. So power given to port number 2 and we were measuring power at port number 1 and power was 80 dB. So now we will interchange these two to measure power at port number 3 and we will match terminate at port number 1. Now we have connected, we have given power at port number 2, we are measuring power from port number 3. So the power source minus 3.30 dB down. So we are giving power to port number 2 and we are measuring at port number 3 and the power was 3.30 dB. So in this experiment we have seen that when we are giving power to port number 3, that is this port, H port, the power divided equally in adjacent arm. So power given to port number 3 and power is divided equally in adjacent arm. In second case, when we are giving power to the adjacent arm, either port number 1 or port number 2, we are giving power to port number 1, we are getting very less power in port number 2 but power in port number 3. So we are giving power to port number 1, so most of power will goes to port number 3 and there will be very less power in port number 2. Similarly in case 3, we are giving power to port number 2 and we are getting most of power in port number 3 while very small power in port number 1. So these two ports are called isolated arm.